Good morning, everybody. It is 6:43. Welcome back to Great Day for this Wednesday. And not only is it a great day, it is a great day to grow it. The weather finally breaking to the point where you can get away with. Saw somebody wearing sandals yesterday.
What?
Over in Lutuna, downtown Lutuna area. Yep.
It's getting there. It's I still say it's way early, but it's people's planting now, so it's.
But be careful.
Still too early.
Let's be careful. Why don't you hit on that real quick, Chuck, because we want to make sure people know about it.
Well, you know, a lot of people believe, you know, after Mother's Day is the time to plant, and our last frost date is about the 10th, 12th of May. And we had a bad freeze last year, the Monday after Mother's Day.
And the year before that.
Yeah, and the year before that, it snowed in May. So people's planting, but I don't go crazy yet. It's not time to go nuts yet.
So what kind of things do you want to put in the ground now?
Well, like I say, it's still, you know, the cabbage and cauliflower and, you know, your early seed crops, you know, peas, radishes, things like that. Onions are fine to go in, but you know, we're selling tomatoes and impatiens and all stuff that's kind of touchy.
Okay, so people are impatient.
Yes, they are. Night before last, I had some stuff, and I just unloaded it out behind the greenhouse, and it actually froze the night before last. I mean, it just turned black and froze.
Oh no!
Some salvia. I mean, it wasn't very much. I didn't mean to leave it out there, but it just actually froze. So
all right, and you're talking about moving things around. I brought something in a little bag here for you. Kathy's mom, my wife's mom, gave me a bucket of these.
Yep.
What are these?
Cool. Yep, those are iris.
Iris?
Yep.
Are those okay?
Those are iris. Well, this isn't really the time of year to move them, but it's fine. The main thing about iris is you can see where the roots are on this, and you can see this thing. This part here cannot be buried.
It cannot be.
Cannot be
I would have
buried.
killed it.
If you bury that, that'll just rot, and then that's going to go away. That has to be above the ground.
I would have killed it.
The roots will go down, but after you plant that, you want that to look pretty much just like that.
Huh.
Well,
and that's not a bulb, right? It's called something else.
It's called a rhizome.
Rhizome.
A rhizome. God, I'm glad I knew that.
How do you know this stuff? I'm amazed how much of a green thumb he has.
They keep coming back and getting bigger every year.
Getting bigger. Iris is this is one of Joyce's favorite flowers. The only problem with iris is they just bloom once. Most of them. Some of them are rebloomers, but basically they're just a one-time bloom.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful. They smell good. And do you know what color these are?
No idea.
Come in a lot of different colors. So that'll be fun to plant, and then you can see what color that is. And
I kind of like to do like daffodils and tulips and irises sort of in the same spot, so you get basically color until like June or whatever.
You can get some color and stuff.
Yeah.
And
So when is the bloom on these then?
It's early spring.
Will this one do anything or just grow?
Well, it's hard to say. This really is not the time to move these or anything.
When should have
these like in August.
Okay.
This is you know, in August you do these and kind of cut them back. This will, I think it'll grow and everything, but I don't know that you'll get a flower this year. But you may.
As long as it's green, that's all I care.
But it'll be green. And it'll be green and nice. And
now our boss is very excited because his wife's asparagus is starting to poke their heads through. So there's some things that are
asparagus, because you pick asparagus. You know, asparagus is a one-time deal. You pick it really early, and it'll be coming along pretty soon.
Yeah, and you want to cut it. You don't want to let it get too tall, right?
Right. But technically, with asparagus, and I don't know why this is, but you're much better off to break it off rather than cut it.
There's Ted's wife's asparagus.
And you want to break it off right at the ground, right?
Somewhere in there.
Above?
Not really, just the tops of it. That's why if you break it off, if you just kind of take the top,
bend it,
it'll break off. Then the part you have is the good part. That's why if you cut it and cut it down too low to the ground, that's kind of a woody part that really isn't that good to eat. You just want to eat that
the stringy part.
Yeah, that top part.
So what'd you bring with you?
Well, I keep telling people it's too early to plant tomatoes, but we sure got some nice ones out there. So.
But you can get them.
Yes. You know, and a lot of people want to put a big one in, and you know, everybody wants to be the first in the neighborhood to have a tomato.
Right.
So we have quite a few of them going like this, and they can get them in the ground. And the nice thing about just having one, you can always throw a bucket or something over it if it does get cold or something. But it's plenty early. You know, the Grimes sweet corn guy, he don't usually start putting out. He puts out about the 1st of May, and he considers that his take a chance crop. You know, because if they freeze, and but if not, you get an early crop.
There's really nothing when you look out 10 days that would, I mean, I think, sure, it could frost again, but a hard freeze, I don't see it.
And
I could be wrong.
And that's, and I think that's probably true. But the thing is with tomatoes, and you know, we've talked about this before, they only grow when it's warm.
Right.
So you're putting them in now and just taking a chance. They're just going to sit there like this.
Right.
They'd be fine sitting in that until middle of May?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And some people just take these and put them in a pot. I've been promising Jackie a lettuce bowl forever, and I finally got it growing. But I made her a nice lettuce bowl with a tomato in the middle and some lettuce around it. And
good for you.
I'll snag
I'm gonna
that.
have dead salad in my
I'll snag that and bring it down. And it wants to stay at the greenhouse because it knows it has a fighting chance there.
It's a life cycle once it leaves.
But
remind us, as people are getting excited for tomatoes and things like that, how they can make sure to have good fruit. Like you said, it has to be warm outside. But I had friends come up to me like, man, I had this huge plant, but I had no fruit.
Right, and that's the thing with especially with tomatoes. Fertilize them when you plant them, and then leave them be. It's kind of the same with water. They need water, and there's no question about that. They need water, but if you let those roots go down and just let it take care of itself, you're going to have much better fruit and stuff. You fertilize them things, you get a 10-foot tall plant and 2 tomatoes. If you leave them be, you'll get a lot of tomatoes, and you won't get quite such a big plant and stuff. So
if you do something, because I live in an apartment, so I only have a little deck area,
right,
and I'm potting my garden, so I don't need to worry about fertilizing in a pot as opposed to being in the ground.
I mean, you can fertilize it once in a while. It's a little more critical in a pot, but still not a lot. You know. The one I put in your pot for you, they have patio tomatoes that, you know, the tomato doesn't get huge. It don't grow you any giant tomatoes, but it grows you nice little tomatoes, and the plant don't get huge. But a little fertilizer in a pot doesn't hurt, but you still don't want to overdo.
Okay.
Is it too early for the hanging plants yet?
Well, that's the one thing we are starting to sell is quite a few hanging baskets.
And they're beautiful.
Wow.
These are something, you know, with hanging baskets, is it too early? Well, the nice thing with a hanging basket is if you hang that outside and it's going to frost tonight, you just got to throw it in the house.
Yeah, bring it in.
So, you know, that's pretty easy to do. Well, we do.
Man, they're beautiful.
These are some proven winter combinations that we do. There's about 3 different kinds of plant in there.
That is really cool. I haven't seen that combination.
Yeah, and they have their own combinations. This one is called Bermuda Skies. There's probably 25 different combinations with things in, and those just do really, really well. And but yeah, hanging baskets is something.
And what do those run?
These are 30. These is a 12-inch basket. These run $29.95.
Full sun or partial?
Full sun.
Full sun.
Most of our baskets are full sun, and it even it tells you on this tag. And I didn't really know this, but it says on there, full sun. Full sun is considered more than 6 hours of sunlight a day, so just an FYI. So if it gets 6 hours,
and
of
that gets you in the mood for spring.
Smells good too.
Yeah, and it's the greenhouse is just beautiful. All these hanging in there and stuff. So, but those are something you definitely can go with now and be off and running. So you're good to go on those.
All right, so you have a couple locations. I want to remind people of your new location.
Yeah, and our new location down in just west of. Beautiful downtown Boonville, and the restaurant down there. It's a lot going on. It's a happening place. You got to be careful driving through town there. But once you make it through town, we're just a little bit west there. And Gary and Jackie's down there at Boonville and taking care of that place. And they did a marvelous job, and it's looking good and ready to go. And they're open every day now. And we're open in Johnston every day, and Joyce and I and Dugan and the kids are out there in Johnston, and Jackie and Gary will take care of you down in Boonville. But it's looking good down there, ready to go.
That is great.
Yeah.
Ready
Wonderful.
to go.
Right, good to see you, my friend.
Yep,
Yeah,
you guys too.
you.
Thanks for having me.
Are you going to be at the races Saturday?
You know, unfortunately, this time of year it's hard for me to get away.
I thought it might be.
It's
the first night though in Knoxville.
I know, but maybe usually about June we make our first appearance down there. So, but we're anxious. It's it's nice. We've seen you guys had a beautiful day for practice over at the fairgrounds the other day, and they practiced down in Knoxville. Yep. Yeah, and. Gosh, it seems like it's impossible at this time already, but
yeah. By the way, Chuck Rennis.
Here it is.
Chuck Rennis is the guy who sponsored the championship car last year.
Yep, down in Knoxville, Joe Beaver and everything, and I talked to him about being on too, and he would love to do that, but he wants to. So we'll have to hold him to this if we can make it work out. But he wants to be on after he wins.
Got it.
So
we can make that happen.
So hopefully, after the first week, we'll get him out here on a Monday morning.
That works for us. Works for us. Thank you so much. It's